Hi, semi-retired community. I recently talked about our house hacking experience at the White Coast Investor Conference, and I wanted to give you guys a quick overview of our house hacking, and so you can start to see how you might be able to do this for yourself too. And previously, we've written about this on our post on our blog. It's called House Hacking. If you just search for it on our blog, you'll be able to find it. So this is a house hack actually we did back in 2016. It's a duplex that Kenji and I bought, which was empty at the time of purchase. So we didn't have great numbers for it, and we'll talk about the numbers at the end. But it was located just inside the Seattle town line, and we bought it for $429,000. And so what we ended up doing with this property is doing a major rehab. It took us about 6 months overall, but after about a couple months, we actually moved into that top unit you can see up there to finish off the rehab. And this is the after pictures of our rehab project. So our rehab project ended up costing us $200,000. And we took this, for example, is the upstairs kitchen over on the left side. And we took that from a very 1950s kitchen into a modern kitchen. And note, this is higher level grade finishes than we usually use on our properties. This again is a property inside the Seattle city lines. And so it wasn't really, at the end of it was more of a type A finish rather than a BC, which is usually what we do. And so the top pictures are what the kitchen upstairs ended up looking like. And we also added a bathroom upstairs. We actually had a stairwell that we just took out the stairwell connector from the top level to the bottom level and put in a bathroom there. And then downstairs, this is what the kitchen looked like when we bought it. And then you can see we fixed it up pretty significantly. In the downstairs unit, we were actually able to add another bedroom where there had been a oversized laundry space. So we really added a ton of value. We forced appreciation, which you can learn about on our blog, and ended up actually walking away from this property with a huge chunk of cash in our pocket, and we'll talk through that in the next slide. The last two slides, pictures there, are pictures from when some squatters cut our new screens and broke into our house. And the reason they did that was because their laundry they had left in the laundry machine, and they had been living there, as I mentioned. And so it's a really good learning point for us. If you find laundry in the laundry machine and you know you have squatters, just take it out and put it outside so they don't feel the need to break in and get their clothes.
So let's look at the numbers here. As Leti mentioned, we purchased this property in 2016 for $429,000. The total rent at that time, we estimated to be about $2,700. It was vacant, so it was kind of hard to really estimate. So this was kind of like from historical records that we found. The owner paid utilities, which is pretty common, back in 2016. And the cash flow, we really didn't know what the cash flow was, again, because this was vacant at the time. We had very poor records from the owner.
Yeah, and so this is one of the learning points here is if you know your market really, really well, even if you don't have accurate data about what something could rent for or what utilities are going to cost, you actually know your market well enough that you can be able to see potential in these properties. And so because we knew Seattle area so well and north of Seattle, we had a guesstimate along with our property manager knew what these units could be rented for if they were fixed up. So we were able to see the value in the property even when it was in terrible shape.
Yep. So then we took this property, which you saw needed a lot of repair, and we put about $200,000 of repair into this property, and so then what happened after that? So 2 years later, in 2018, we actually sold this property for $870 cash. So again, if we were 429 for purchase price, $200,000 of repairs, we were 629 in on this property. And so we really, walked away from this almost $240,000 higher or equity is what we kind of gained in this property. And in terms of the rent, previously it was $2,700 a month. We were now renting this for $4,200 a month. And we also got pet rent on top of that. And we also got $600 per month in utility bill back. So each unit, we charged $300 for utilities, which covered the utility bill. And the cash flow as a result was 24,000 a year. We also, on top of that, have a debt pay down of $7,800 a year. And finally, we got significant tax savings from this. We had depreciation of about 25,000. Back then, we did not do the cost segregation on this property. If we did, we would probably have gotten about $100,000 depreciation loss on this property instead of 25,000. And then the repairs, we got back about $50,000 in tax savings from the repairs. So even though we spent 200,000, we got $50,000 back in tax savings when we wrote that off.
Yeah. So in all, we walked away with over $300,000 in our pocket after just 2 years. And yeah, this is the value of forcing appreciation in properties, and, having real estate professional tax status and being able to take all those losses off of our taxes really helped grow our wealth quickly. So hopefully you've learned a lot about house hacking through this presentation. And again, you can always just go and search our site and find the write-up on this, and it's got a little bit more detail.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye.